Let's compare and contrast some of the applications on the Nexus S and HD7. We'll start out with Gmail. One of the things that's nice on the HD7 up at the top, you see it says all, slide to the left for all in red, flagged, urgent, and all. If you get a lot of emails like I do, that's pretty handy to have. Obviously you can do the same thing on the Nexus S, you just have to go in under a menu to get at it. Take a look at an email, they both offer full HTML. Alright, there's a look at the email accounts, and again, there's not a lot of difference there. Let's go into messaging on both. Message editor. Both of them have one text input method, which is the on-screen keyboard in either portrait or landscape. One thing nice on the Nexus S is you do have speech to text, which is great. Take a look at the difference in attachments. You can attach a picture on the HD7. On the Nexus S, pictures, it gives you a direct link to the camera, which is very nice, so you can take a quick picture and attach it from inside the editor itself, as well as audio and recorded audio and a slideshow. So that was pretty neat, I thought, on the Nexus S. Let's take a look at the weather application real quick on both. Here's your weather application on the Nexus S. On the HD7 you have what's called HTC Hub, which I guess is the Sense UI on Windows Phone 7. If you notice the tile that I tapped on, that's a live tile. It will continue to update the weather and give you current weather conditions. Here's the actual weather application. You can see there's an awful lot of animation. Not only do you get animation, but you also get sound now. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but it was raining. Also in HTC Hub you also have a stock application, which is right there. And you also have the HTC Sound Enhancer, which is very nice. When using the speaker on the phone, you've got Dolby Mobile or SRS, and if you plug in a set of headphones, you've got an equalizer that has a number of different presets that you can use, which is pretty slick. All right, let's take a look at the gallery on both. Yeah, let's go back. There we go. All right, the gallery on the Nexus S. Pull up the pictures and slide through in portrait. Take a look in landscape. Again, you can set up slideshows on both of them. Double tap or pinch to zoom to go in and out. You share photos, all that good stuff. Nothing new there really. On the HD7, you can sort by all, date, or favorites. You also can see the pictures you recently looked at by sliding over to the scrolling to the left a little bit. It also ties in with your Facebook account as well to bring pictures up there. So we'll go into all, camera roll, and again you can double tap to zoom in. Also take a look at it in landscape, and also share pictures directly from the application. Alright, let's take a look at the music application on the Nexus S and HD7. Go back. And on the Nexus S we've got artists, albums, songs, and playlists, as you can see. One thing that I thought was, I don't know about unusual, but definitely different. If you're listening to a song on the Nexus S, obviously the phone multitasks, so you're back to your home screen, but let's say you turn the phone off, or it powers off by itself, and then when you power it back on, typically from the lock screen there's a way to access a music player. There isn't on the Nexus S. Obviously you can access it from the notification bar once you fire up the phone, but you actually do have to start the phone to access the music player, which I thought was a little different. On the HD7, first of all, you get a history of what you were just listening to. You get a list of albums you've just been listening to, and you've also got what you've recently downloaded. If you're at the history screen, which is what comes up first, if you swipe to the left, you'll get music, videos, podcasts, radio, and marketplace. Tapping on music will open up your artists, albums, songs, playlists, as well as genres. On artists, I don't make any difference what we listen to, I guess, does it? And listen way to the world. You notice it has the correct picture behind the album, but the album itself it shows as Nickelback, so obviously that doesn't make any sense at all. And again, you can scroll through the different songs when you're here, and you can go back and you'll get the songs, you get a bio, different list of albums, and again the songs. And again, here's your history. And the history is tied into video as well. We were watching Shane Dawson, and here's our video from earlier today, and tapping on it will take us to it. One of the things that's nice on the HD7, let me go back to this and start playing some music. If we turn the phone, let's go. This does multitask for music, the music player and video player, and that's it. If the phone's off, you still listen to music. When you turn it back on, you'll get controls for the music player up here at the top from the lock screen. Alright, and let's get back to music. And you get a nice little live tile, shows you album artwork behind it. And we'll stop that. And there's a look at some of the different applications and comparison contrast on the Nexus S and HD7. Let's take a look at the user interface on the Nexus S and HD7. We've got two different operating systems. On the Nexus S, you're running Android 2.3 Gingerbread. On the HD7, it's got Windows Phone 7. We'll start out with the Nexus S. With Android 2.3 Gingerbread, there are 5 different panels that you can customize with widgets, application shortcuts, bookmarks, folders, or contact information. To add or remove a widget, simply hold down on it to remove it. This little trash can shows up at the bottom. Drag the widget down. When it turns red, let go. It's gone. To add a new widget, simply hold down on the screen. You'll feel some haptic feedback. We'll tap on widgets and we'll put the clock back in, simply selecting it, and there you go. And again, you can move them around where you'd like on the display. So those are the 5 different panels you can customize on the Nexus S. On the HD7, you have a single home screen, but what you have are a number of tiles that you can add and subtract to make up the list however you'd like. To add a tile, simply go to the main menu. Let's see what's not under settings isn't. So you hold down on it, you see pin to start, tap on it, and it'll drop it down here at the bottom. If you want to move it up or anywhere you'd like, simply drag it up where you'd like, hit the back key, and it drops it right in there. So that's the customization. Also, as far as further customization on the HD7, if you go into settings, you can go into themes. You can either have a white or black background. There's your white background. There's your black background, and you can change the color of the tiles. That's pretty much it on the HD7. On the Nexus S, as far as wallpaper, you can use your gallery. You've got live wallpapers as well as regular wallpapers. As far as live wallpapers, let's see, let's go to microbes. I haven't used that one yet. Let's put that on there and set wallpaper. So you've got your live wallpaper. So there's quite a bit more customization available with the Nexus S than there is the HD7. Alright, let's take a look at the main menus real quick. Main menu on the HD7. And again, you've got 4 across on the Nexus S, and you've got the really slick animation down here at the bottom just above the little home key, as you can see there. Home key, speaking of home keys, they both serve multiple purposes. On the Nexus S, holding down on the home key will bring up the last 8 applications you had running. Tapping on any one of those will take you directly to it. On the HD7, holding down on the home key will launch the voice command. Open calendar.
Starting calendar.
And again, you can open up applications, you can place phone calls as well as access the music player. And then both of the phones have notification systems. There's a notification bar here at the top of the Nexus S. Simply sliding down will open it up. I don't have any notifications at the moment, but if I had emails that I hadn't taken a look at yet, or text messages or applications that needed to be updating or missed phone calls, it would all show up there. There's also a clear button if I'd want to clear everything, that'd all be cleared. If I didn't clear it, it would continue to notify me. Even though I closed the notification bar, there'd be a notification in the upper left-hand corner. Notification system on the HD7 or for Windows Phone 7 is basically the tiles themselves. And unfortunately, I don't have anything showing at the moment, but if I had missed calls, that would show up. If I had emails would show up, text messages would show up. You can see the HTC weather tiles, a live tile. It shows me the current temperature along with conditions outdoors. Calendar shows me my next appointment. I can't forget to get my car washed. Hopefully it'll stop raining. Let's see, here we go, under Marketplace I have 2 apps that need to be updated. So that's your notification system on the HD7 is basically your live tiles. Alright, so there's a little look at the user interface comparison between the Nexus S and HD7. Alright, what do you say we finish up today's face-off between the Nexus S and HD7, both currently offered by T-Mobile. Don't forget to stop by smartphoneenvy.com and check out the winner for today's face-off, along with my written review, as well as some pictures and video taken by both of the contestants. All right, the contestants are both running off the same Wi-Fi network. They both had their cache and histories cleared, and we'll start out with smartphoneenemy.com, and we're off. I think that was pretty close. And the Nexus S is just hanging out. Apparently it doesn't think it's a serious race. Look at that. It knew it could lay back. And here it comes. And the Nexus S is done. HD7 is still loading. And Nexus S is obviously very smooth at scrolling. Well, you do have to give it a little bit of a bump start, but then once it's going, it's good. That's only on the overview pages. When you're already zoomed in, it's second you touch it, it's very smooth and scrolls. You can pinch to zoom, hit the minus sign on the zoom bar to rewrap the text to fit the page or the display. Works very well, very smooth. Renders everything on the page very, very well. Alright, and we're still waiting for the HD7. And I can see we have some issues. It just finished. First off, it's extremely smooth to scroll any of the applications, anything on a Windows Phone 7 phone. They're just silky smooth. Big issue though, it didn't render the page properly. You'll see reviews over here and recent posts that jammed all that together into one spot. So, and then had the same problem down here. So it had some issues rendering the page. But again, you can double tap to zoom in. It does offer pinch to zoom as well. It doesn't rewrap the text in any way, but let's try another site, see if it'll have some better luck. Let's go over to /gear. I think I've got that on both of these. There we go. And we're off. Speed-wise, obviously the Nexus S is considerably faster at loading pages, and again, it's loading the full Flash ads as well. And the Nexus S is done. And again, no issues with scrolling. Double tap to zoom in. Very responsive. It's a real nice job of rendering the page. And the HT7 is now done. And again, just you really got to try one of these phones. It'll just blow you away how smooth it is to scroll. Alright, let's double tap to zoom in. No issues. Multi-touch, no issues. Double tap. Very smooth. Looked like it rendered the page pretty well too. Again, it's not going to show any flash, but it did a pretty good job. Looked like it did a good job of rendering the page. Alright, let's try one more. Let's head over to Engadget and give that a spin, and we're off. So far the Nexus S has been well out in front with regard to the speed of loading the web pages and rendering as well. And we're pretty close right here. Oh, nope, I take that back. Nexus S is done. It's working very well. Very, very smooth. Renders the page very well too. Alright, we've got the HD7 is done, again with some rendering issues. Obviously you're not going to get the flash ads, but if you look here under the Engadget show on both of them, it says recent reviews. Didn't pick up any of the color from that as well. The other thing you're going to notice, which is, I don't know if it's funny or not, if you watch this widget, it'll flip in a minute and the whole page moves. The whole page moved up and then back down. Well, if you're actually trying to read something, it's a little distracting having the page move up and come back down. So that can be quite a problem, excuse me, on the HD7 when viewing Engadget and obviously some other places. So the Nexus S was considerably quicker in loading pages. It rendered pages better as well. As far as scrolling, there isn't anything as smooth as a WP7 phone. They're just absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, there's our face-off for today, the Nexus S versus the HTC HD7, both being offered by T-Mobile. And again, stop by smartphoneenemy.com, check out or find out today's face-off winner, as well as my written review along with some photos and video from both of the contestants. I hope this has been helpful. Take care.